It's back day. Go right into it because we gotta get through this. Not totally pressed for time, but we can't waste time, so let's just go. Start off with standard pull-ups. Do about 10 of them. There's 4, 5, 6. All right. Usually I like to start out with some hangs, but today, mix it up a little bit. That's how you gotta do it. Don't always do the same thing over and over and over. Do a variety of stuff. So we're back to doing more normal workouts. Had a bit of a head cold there for a few days, but feeling better now. Almost all the way through it. So we'll be doing 10 sets for back. Pretty good intensity today. Gonna go at a pretty good pace. I'm not sure what all I'm gonna do today. We'll figure it out as we go. All right, we got a pump going right away. Now we'll do kind of a couple warm-up sets. Let's do a hang. Do some shoulder circles from a hang. Both directions. Straight scapula pulls. Lean back. Dead hang. Hollow body. That's good. We'll change up my overall workout routine as of late. Day 1 is back, which is today. Day 2, legs. Day 3, arms, which is still a lot of upper body because I do chin-ups and dips. So it's kind of an upper body day, push-pull day with the focus on arms. And then day 4 is legs. Now chest, I kind of do that when I can. I'm at a rest area right now. So that's the kind of place where I'll just get out and do some push-ups. I don't prioritize the chest so much. With my long arms, everything responds really well. That's just something you got to figure out as you go along. Is what muscle groups respond well to training. My chest has always responded really well, but I also got to be careful because of my long arms. It's a lot of torque on the shoulders whenever I'm doing push-ups. I used to do a chest day and I would do push-ups right here on the seat arms, but just the spacing and the angle of it is just. It was a little weird and I just kept getting tweaks in my shoulder. So ever since I just stopped doing that and found some ground space somewhere, because I don't have space in the truck. I usually do them at a rest area somewhere, just find a space and just do a couple few sets of 20 or 30. And I also like doing some Hindu push-ups, some we call pike position holds. Also do some scapula presses. So just do a variety of stuff to just kind of work on that, a good variety of pushing movements from a push-up position. And it's been doing a lot better. My shoulder is feeling good, better than it has in a long time. And overall, I just feel like I'm making excellent progress with a lot of the pushing movements. Able to do some handstand work again, which is nice. So I'm just kind of feeling good overall. So we're just gonna keep that going. But like I said, I do chest when I can, and I don't do chest real intense at all. It's pretty moderate overall. But I do feel that I'm responding better to a little bit more volume and a little bit higher frequency, but lower intensity. So let's go ahead and do some hollow body 7 positions here. Those are tough. That's a tough exercise. You're just trying to push down like this, keep your arms straight. Hard to do, especially when you got long arms like me. all this stuff, the longer your limbs, the more challenging it is. Yet, I also think that's where you get the most out of it. You know, a lot of the bigger guys avoid this bodyweight stuff because it is a little more difficult. You know, there's a reason gymnasts are like 5'2", 5'3", and barely over 100 pounds. And look at just, even though they're not very big at all, they're quite compact people, smaller humans. Look how muscular they are. And all they do is body weight. So I just show you the power of body weight only training when the best in the world at it, who are competitive gymnasts, are still just super muscular. Even though they only weigh 110, 120 pounds, maybe at that. You know, I'm about 210, so I'm about 100 pounds more than them. And I got longer arms. Just goes you to show that you don't need to be lifting a lot of weights going to a gym to get strong and muscular. Bodyweight training is all you need. Even though I love lifting weights, and I'm thinking about getting a barbell with some weights just so I can do some basics. I'll do some squats, some deadlifts, bent over rows, overhead presses. I think adding that into what I'm doing now, it's kind of doing a more hybrid, you know, calisthenics and basic old school, you know, barbell training would be awesome. So that may be coming soon. We'll see. All right. Now we're gonna do some inverted tuck pulls. I did these last time and it was excellent stuff. So we're gonna do inverted tuck pulls to a inverted pike hang position. There's the inverted tuck. Bring the feet under. Go to the pike. Get a nice hamstring stretch there. Do at least 3. Do a few shrugs. That's a pretty good combo right there. I just invented a new move. A whole new sequence of moves. Okay, that's good. So, you'd be surprised with that movement right there, how much it just torques your forearms. So your grip is actually the limiting factor on that, which is pretty cool. Nothing wrong with doing movements that hit your grip a little more. But when you're bringing your whole body up like that, your grip is really, you're really working your forearms when you do that, surprisingly. Okay, so that was 3, set number 3. No, that was set number 4. Oh, we're moving right along. Let's keep it moving. Alright, let's raise these rings up a little bit. That was a little too low. Okay, let's do our second set. Or set number 6. The second set of inverted tuck. No, not inverted tuck. Inverted bodyweight shrugs in a pike. Whew. Okay, now we'll do a couple sets of front lever tuck bodyweight rows, then a set of pull-ups, and we'll finish off with a set of scapula swings. Can't express enough just how much having a pull-up bar and the rings in the truck with me on the road just totally changed things up. Because a lot of people, they don't realize just how important the back is. Learning to train the back for most people is going to take time. It's what takes the most time, and I've said this before. I'll keep saying it again because it is foundational. I try to keep hitting these foundational principles over and over and over. But learning to train the back, learning to hit all the muscles in the back properly takes time. It takes a lot of practice. This is why I always advocate for daily training. You don't have to do super intense, especially if you're, hitting middle age, you're over 40. Even younger guys can benefit from daily strength training. Do high frequency, moderate intensity. Some days you can go pretty intense. And then days when you're feeling, a little extra sore, not really quite up to it, you still do some training, get that pump, get those endorphins, but you back off a little bit so you can give your body a chance to recover. But I really don't think you need to just train 3 or 4 days a week like so many, fitness trainers advocate. I really do think there's more advantages to learning to train every single day, but moderate your pace, moderate your intensity. Sometimes you're more intense, sometimes you're less intense, but overall it's going to be pretty moderate. You make far better progress, because I think having that daily workout habit, it's easier to stay consistent because your body gets used to those daily endorphins, getting your blood flowing on a daily basis. Some type of purposeful exercise, not just up moving around, walking, doing yard work or whatever. Most people would benefit greatly from just 5 to 10 minutes of, dedicated strength training, where there's a mixture of strength, flexibility, balance, coordination. That's why I like the bodyweight stuff so much. That's why I'm such a huge advocate for it. It's not only is it extremely good for you, but you develop all that. You develop strength, balance, coordination, flexibility. Your athletic foundation. It's like all the 4 pillars of your athletic foundation. Anyways, enough talking. Let's keep this workout going. Do a couple sets of front lever tuck rows. So on these rows, I'm really trying to go until my range of motion is fairly limited. So the last couple reps, my range of motion that I can hit is nowhere close to where it is in the first couple. That's what I call range of motion failure. Because going to failure is different with bodyweight training than it is with lifting weights. It's more about when your ideal technique starts breaking down. The ideal technique is just be able to full front lever rows where your body is completely straight, your legs are straight, and you can row. Extremely hard to do. Unless you're, 4'3" or something. Or maybe that's just an excuse because I'm an old guy. But whatever your ideal form is, my ideal form is still far below, these young guys have been training since they're teenagers and they've gotten pretty elite levels. So your ideal form for you is going to be different than somebody else. But whenever your ideal form starts breaking down, that's a form of failure. And you want to train into that range more often than not. So I got one more set of these, set of pull-ups, the next set of front lever tuck rows, and a set of pull-ups. I'm going to go into that range of failure until my form really starts breaking down. I'm not going to get herky-jerky. Okay, I'm not going to be using cheating movements or anything like that. Stand in control. Just whatever best control I can do, that's going to be it. And then the scapula swings, we'll just do 10 reps. That's kind of a nice finishing move. We'll do a little stretching. And that'll be it. That being said, let's keep this moving. And when you're training to more intensity, more in failure, you can kind of keep the rest between sets a little shorter. Whew. Okay, so if you saw, let me get my breath. Let me catch my breath real quick. So wait, let's bring these back in. If you saw on the first repetitions, my knees are coming right above the top of the rings here. By the end, they were down here. So that's what I mean. It's the range of motion. And also as I'm going, my first few reps are more of an open tuck. And then as I get tired, I bring my knees in because it makes your body weight, it decreases your leverage. Because with body weight training, it's a lot of leverage. When your legs are extended more, it's more difficult because your body's having to hold that weight out further, the weight of your legs further out from your center of gravity. So with these kind of exercises, the more you keep your body mass, your legs especially, towards your center of gravity, the easier the repetitions are. And that's how you make, one of the ways you make progress in bodyweight strength training is how you hold your limbs relative to your center of gravity. All right. Now let's do slightly wide, not real wide, but slightly wider. This is more, standard grip. Let's go between standard and wide grip for these set of pull-ups. I'm struggling to get my nose to the bar. Okay, so those are my 3 main working sets. I think that's really all you need. Even though it might be 10 sets in general, we got a couple few warm-up sets. Then we got a couple few like really pump-up sets where we get the pump going, get the blood really flowing. Then we got a few real hard working sets. And then one set just more for, I think the scapula swings that I'm about to do now. It's more for just general health. Shoulder health, scapula health. Really great finishing exercise. This is another concept I like to do. Have a finishing exercise, and we'll do a little bit of stretching, and that'll be it. Nice, intense, moderately intense. I mean, pushing yourself to that different ranges of failure in 3 or 4 sets per body part. That to me is like the upper level of intensity of my training. But it's not like some training where it's just all high intensity, where you just get super winded, can barely talk, you're laying on the floor when you're done in a puddle of sweat. I don't do that. I think that's completely unnecessary. Yeah, there's no real use for that. It may feel like you're doing something, but a lot of times what I see is just you're programming your body with bad movement patterns. Because a lot of training, especially today where we have such a sedentary lifestyle, we need to improve how well we move our body. And that's done through getting stronger. But when you go to these super high intensity workouts that just keep your heart rate elevated for so long, a lot of times what happens is you reinforce poor motor habits or motor skills. And that oftentimes lead to injury. There's a time and place for that, don't get me wrong. But the majority of your training, personally I believe, if you want long-term health and longevity, should be more moderate intensity. Not that you're not putting in some effort. Like those last few sets I did, There was a lot. I was really trying to push and pull, or pull my weight up in those front lever tuck rows and pull-ups. But you're only in that range for like 5-10 seconds, those last 2 or 3 reps. That's it. Then you come down, you recover, and you gain your breath back, get your heart rate more, subsides a little bit, and then you go again. You do a little stretching, and you're done. And even though I have an extremely sedentary lifestyle, my total workout time is about, typically it's right around 40 minutes a day. That's it. I do a little bit in the morning. I do about a 20 to 25 minute workout sometime during the day, then another 10 to 15 minute workout in the evening. And that's just mostly stretching, maybe some hand, some skill work like some handstands or some front levers, some more isometric, static strength style workouts. But that's really short. But it's right around 40 minutes a day is what I do. And that keeps me in great shape. I'm not getting super sweaty. I'm not killing myself. I'm just staying nice and steady, consistent, improving my performance, improving how I move my body, range of motion, my strength, my flexibility, my balance. It's all improving. I skip a little rope, a little bit of cardio. A little bit of cardio is good. But you get great cardiovascular benefits from training like this, like the way I'm this moderate kind of style of strength training that I do. There's plenty of cardiovascular benefits. Now, it's not going to get you ready to run a marathon. If you're going to be an endurance athlete, you need to do endurance training. However, to simply get cardiovascular benefits, strength training is more than enough. It's been proven since the 50s. All right, let's do this last set of Skypo swings. It's enough yapping. I got to get this done, get back on the road. I gotta switch those to being the first exercise of the day. I think next time, see if I can remember to do that. Don't hold me to it. Between now and 4 days from now, I'll probably forget. All right, let's stretch out the shoulders, the biceps, the chest. Stretch out the traps and lats. Now, I talk a lot about how doing push and pull. If you're in a truck and you don't have a pull bar set up like I do yet, you should work on getting one. But you can just use your top bunk and just use that to pull and stretch on. Like this. You kind of push down like this, or right here, pushing down, or pulling down like that. Great way to start working your back. Decompress the spine, stretch it out, and just kind of get used to pulling on your lats a little bit. Your latissimus dorsi. Because you're just starting out and you haven't done regular exercise for decades, all you need to do is just do some stretching, do some joint warm-ups, mobility, some stretching, and just get in the habit of doing that for 5-10 minutes a day and just stay consistent. That's where I started with a couple years ago. I did about 5-10 minutes of stuff like this, just some light stretching, mobility work, and stay consistent with it. Your body will want to evolve over time. You're going to want to do more and more. It'll just be a natural evolution as you stay consistent, as your body gets used to it, as you start to get used to having those daily endorphins. You're going to want more. Trust me. Just stay consistent and let it build. That's all there is to it.